We're diving right in today to a rant. I guess it's my rant. We'll see. Maybe Conrad will be ranty on it too. But the rant is, are conferences worth it? And you know what? That's the title. You know, we got to have a title so we can put something in there. But here's the reason for some of this ranting. I posted on LinkedIn about masterminds and you know, I think masterminds can be exceptionally valuable. I think conferences can be exceptionally valuable. I mean, let's face it, I have volunteered for many years to participate in the ABA Tech Show conference, and I'm the current co-chair. But to me, it's not even about just like, are they worth it? I think this rant started when we were discussing this episode. Not all conferences are created equally. And so, you know, some of these conferences, you know, some speakers are paying to be at the conference.
Well, lots of these speakers are paying. There are conferences where every single speaker pays, right?
And why would a speaker pay to speak at a conference, Conrad?
Well, if you need to prostitute your wares to a bunch of prospective clients, a conference is a great place to do that. Let me ask you a question.
Please.
I don't know if you're willing to answer this.
Okay.
What is the highest amount you have been asked in order to speak at a conference? And I suspect we have the same number because we've both been hit by this.
Well, you know, it's interesting. So that question is loaded itself because, like, I get a lot of these like speaker sponsorship emails,
right?
And they're in the tens to 20s to 30s, thousands of dollars range. But you know, that's the thing is like, is that really? Am I being asked to speak? It doesn't feel like I'm being asked to speak. It feels like I'm asked to be sponsor of the show.
Yeah,
it has a speaking slot as part of the sponsorship.
Yeah. Now,
anyway,
would you go to that if you couldn't speak? Would you just sponsor? And
maybe
stand
yes,
in the booth?
maybe no. I mean, my again, hence the rant. My issue is like the attendees for the most part, a lot of them, they don't know about this stuff. They don't know. They don't put it on the website when you're joining the conference. Like, these are speaker sponsors. No, they're less like, this is a speaker. Right. In fact, sometimes they don't even talk about whether they're paid or not or what that relationship is. And so what do you get? You get pitches from the stage. It's why, you know, it's one of the reasons why the ABA has been so clear throughout the years that you can't pitch from the stage, and, you know, they don't take money for speakers. And, you know, sponsorships are designated sponsorships. So, but it's not just that.
What else do you hate about conferences right now?
Yeah. The other thing is I'm looking at some of these conferences, and, you know, look, you want to go and get inspired by a motivational speaker, or you're a fan of somebody or whatever, and you want to make a trip out of it. Great. And that's not to say that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can have a little motivation, a little information, and some networking stuff. But, you know, the reason it was the real thrust of the rant, as I mentioned, I had this post on LinkedIn about masterminds. And so, you know, I guess, is it a conference? I guess mastermind, some of the conferences are put on in the same way, but you get a lawyer who's purportedly big brand, big name. They group together with some other lawyers, big brands, big names. And then they sell the conference, the summit, the mastermind, the whatever you want to call it, to lawyers who are established themselves, which, again, as I acknowledge on LinkedIn, can have tremendous value. You get to learn the mistakes that they made. Maybe you don't make those mistakes. Hugely valuable, kind of, you know, whatever. But in a lot of these contexts, they're your local competitor. And so I'm like, yep, okay, you can go, you can pay that person, but this lawyer who's a competitor is monetizing developing some kind of relationship with you because, you know, a lot of them, it's like designed to be like a create a referral relationship, or that's what they pitch sometimes at the conference. And that one to me just like struck me as like, guys, folks, people, attendees, you got to ask some questions about these conferences. They're not all the same. Anyway, if you've got a great conference that you love, LHL Emmett, Twitter. If you have a conference you hate, LHL Emmett. What are your thoughts on conferences? Are you going to conferences? Are we still worried a little bit about face-to-face in-person conferences? Have you done a hybrid or one of these virtual things? We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag
Let me ask you a
LHLM.
question. I'm going to answer my question to give you time to think, so I don't want to put you on the spot. I'll answer the question, then you can answer it. If you could choose one conference to go to, you're the owner of a law firm, you're going to choose one conference to go to this year, what would it be? My answer to that just happened. I'm going to move outside of legal, and I think it's important to move outside of legal. I would absolutely have gone to HubSpot's Inbound, partly because of the draw of their keynote speaker, which was Obama. But I do think there's value in thinking outside of the legal industry, and so I would pick HubSpot's Inbound. If you could go to one conference this year as the owner of a law firm, Gyi, to get smarter, what would it be?
Well, I love it, and I'm going to qualify that answer in various ways. Number one is, what am I going there for? Am I going there because I need to be motivated? Am I going there for tactical knowledge? Am I going there because I need CLE?
Fair.
These are all questions. And so that's why, and again, bias alert warning, because I am the co-chair, tech show. Because, and here's my pitch. Here's my pitch. It's not platform specific. You get a bunch of different tech providers. You get experts there. Frankly, on the huge paid keynote side of things, Tech Show doesn't do that. So if that's what you're looking for, don't go to Tech Show. But CLE, Tech Show. So I'm running with Tech Show. My people at ABA, obviously I'm biased. There's a lot of good shows. Let's hear from you about what you think. All right.
Money makes it makes a world go round. Money makes a world go round. Money make a world go round. Money makes a world go round.